Question 12, Monisha from the June 2020 Paper 1 exam. Monisha runs a business selling computer games. She has received her bank statement for the month ended 31st of March 2020. The figures shown on the bank statement are correct. Now that's quite important to remember. So if there are any mistakes, they're in Monisha's cash book. Her cash book balance at that date did not agree with the closing balance on her bank statement. Now, we don't know what that is. We won't be able to check that at the end. But she realised the following entries had not been made. There was a cheque from G. Steiner for £830 that had been dishonoured. So that's a bounce cheque. When she received it, she would have debited her cash book and credited the G. Steiner account. Because it's been dishonoured, we need to put that into the cash book on the credit side. So we can put in there G. Steiner returned cheque, something along those lines, £830 on the payment side. So remember, money in, so this is receipts on the debit side, payments on the credit side. And we've got bank charges of £53 that haven't been recorded. So bank charges are an expense. They would have been charged to her bank statement, so they need to be put in on the payment side. So we'll credit the bank account and then debit the bank charges expense account. So it's just those two payments, nothing else to do there. It says record the necessary entries in the cash book and bring down any updated balance on the 1st of April 2020. Now we can see from here that this side is going to be heavier, if you like, than the other side. So the BAL CD is actually going to be overdrawn because we've got more on the credit side than on the debit. So 830 plus 53 is 883 minus the 807 brought forward means that the balance carried down, and indeed the BAL BD on the 1st of April 2020 is £76. I'm just going to write in brackets there that it's overdrawn. Remember, if we've got an overdrawn balance on a bank statement, on a cash book, when we do the bank reconciliation statement, it needs to be in brackets for the maths to work. Okay, so on the next page, it says Monisha has also noted that two items she has recorded in her cash book, they're already in the cash book, are not showing on her latest bank statement. The first one is a cheque paid to a supplier for £45. And that's going to be an unpresented cheque. She's written it in her cash book. It is valid, but it hasn't shown up on the bank statement yet. It's just what we call a timing difference. And she's also got cash deposited at the bank totaling £380. That's an outstanding banking, or you might see it as an outstanding lodgement if you look at some older questions. So what we're asked to do then is prepare a bank reconciliation statement at the 31st of March 2020. So what we need to do is bring forward the balance per the cash book. Now this needs to be the updated one, not the original one. So we're going to check back on our check back on our workings and have a look at the balance on the cash book. It was £76 and it was overdrawn. So let's put that in brackets. Then what we need to do is add any unpresented cheques. And we have got one of those. We have an unpresented cheque for £45 up here. So we're going to add that back on. The reason we're adding it on is it's in the cash book, but it's not in the bank statement. So it's partly responsible for this £76 that we're overdrawn, but it won't be on the bank statement. So we're adding it back to kind of pretend that it hasn't happened, to try and reconcile with the bank statement balance. And then the outstanding banking we're going to take off because it's being shown as paid in on our cash book. So included in that balance is the £380 that we paid in, cash deposited, but that's not showing on the bank statement. So what we're aiming to get is the balance per the bank statement. Okay, so minus 76 plus 45 minus 380 is an overdraft of 411. So let's just put £411 overdrawn. Okay, so that's how we do it. As I said, we can't check whether or not that's right because we haven't got the bank statement, so we just have to trust that that is the correct answer. Obviously, you can look at the mark scheme, but if you're really doing this in the exam, you wouldn't know whether you've done it right or wrong. Okay, 12.3 here, it's asking us to explain two reasons why a business would prepare a bank reconciliation statement. Reason number one is to make sure that our cash book is as up to date as possible. So by looking at this, we're checking our bank statement. If you remember on the previous page, Monisha had found a couple of items that were on the bank statement, but that weren't in her cash book. So if she hadn't have updated those, she wouldn't necessarily have known about this £830 return cheque. So she'd be thinking she's got £807 in the bank, but actually she's got £76 overdraft. So it's going to help her to get an accurate picture of the bank balance. Second reason is it's going to help her to identify any errors that have occurred either in the cash book or on the bank statement. The bank statement is an independent record, so by checking that against the cash book, you are just looking for errors and identifying them and being able to correct them. Other reasons, it might help to deter employees from committing fraud or other people from committing fraud if they know that checks are being carried out. But hopefully that's enough to be going on with, and you can look at the mark scheme for other ideas, I'm sure. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video.